this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Wednesday the 14th of April. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, mixed start to the day here. Going to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 62,317 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 64,775. We need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from this morning's new swing high, 63,732. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 65,000 to cap any upside. In the event of another breakout, should see Bitcoin target 68,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 66,013. A fall through the pivot level will bring the first major support level at 61,079 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub-60s. Second major support level sits at 58,621. Looking at MACDs, we had a bearish cross late yesterday and we got a widening of the bearish histogram this morning, suggestive of some downside early in the day. Need to keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, however, the 50 has pulled away further from the 100 and the 200, which continues to deliver a bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 62,317. Break through this morning's new swing high, 63,732, to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels would come into play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, bearish start to the day. Going to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 2251 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 2366. We need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's new swing high, 2317.3. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of another breakout, should see Ethereum target 2500 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2432. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 2185 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of sub 2100 levels. Second major support level sits at 2070. Looking at the MACD, you've got a marked widening of the bullish histograms and we could see a possible bearish cross, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, 50 has continued to pull away from the 100 and the 200, however, which continues to therefore deliver a bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 2251 and break through yesterday's new swing high, 2317.3, to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Litecoin against US dollar, bullish start to the day here. Going to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 262 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 279. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's new swing high, 273.3. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 280 to cap any upside. In the event of another breakout, should see Litecoin target 300 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 291. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 250 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should still well clear of the second major support level at 233. Looking at the MACD, we've got a marked narrowing of the bearish histograms and a possible bullish cross coming up, so I need to keep an eye on that. That's supporting the early upside. On the EMAs, also bullish indicator with the 50 pulling away further from the 100 and the 200. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 262 and break out from yesterday's new swing high, 273.3, to bring resistance levels into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, bearish start to the day as well after yesterday's breakout. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 1.7013 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 1.9839. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's new swing high, 1.88933. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 2.00 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP target 2.2 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2.1720. Fall through the pivot, bring the first major support level at 1.5132 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of sub 1.5s and the 23.6% fib at 1.4840. Second major support level sits at 1.2306. Looking at the MACDs, you've got a marked widening of the bearish histograms after yesterday's late bearish cross, supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMAs, however, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, suggestive of some further upside ahead. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 1.7013 and break out from yesterday's new swing high 1.88933 to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will come into play.